Okay, so in this video I'm going to show you how to download the software you need to program the FX2 USB chips from Cypress. So the first thing we do is we Google FX3, yes FX3 not FX2, EZ-USB suite, and we download the FX3 software development kit. Now it seems a bit strange to be downloading the FX3 rather than the FX2, but the FX3 does work, and we're going to need a login. Oh, download manager, we don't want the download manager. Why the hell would I need a download manager? You can download the file without using the download manager, so we'll do that because seriously, I don't need a download manager. Okay, so our download's done. We will fire it up. We will run it. It obviously is a self-extracting zip file, which is going to require. Oh, there we go. Yes. Now you'll note the webcam over here is showing the little FX3 development board I've got. Is this going to program files? Yes it is. Okay, that's good. Next. So I haven't plugged the board in yet. I'm fairly sure there are no drivers in this system for the board, so I'm not going to plug it in until I've finished installing this software until we're fully up and running and good to go. Okay, installation type complete. Well, I don't know. We'll do custom and see if there's anything we explicitly need to install. Yeah, that looks fairly complete. So next, we'll accept the license agreement. Accept that one too. This one. Holy. This one. There we go. Okay, so here we are. Everything's installed. We shall just skip on ahead without reviewing release notes or the update manager, and they don't need my contact information. So I did click finish there, didn't I? Yes, there we go. So we now have Cypress, and the one we want is the Eclipse and EZ-USB suite, which as you can see is geared for the FX3, not the FX2, but it does work with the FX2, so you need to create a workspace. So we'll just throw one in there for now. And proceed on as it starts up. Okay. So we'll maximize the window and we shall create a new project for the FX3. So we've got this Cypress. Aha, look, an FX2 LP project. Next. So we'll call this test, and we want to use this bulk loop SDCC as the template. Now the SDCC, we will need to find that and we'll need to install it in a moment, but for now this will create the project that we want to use as a template. So there we go. We now have this lovely project with all these files that will build. Well, it won't build at the minute because we haven't installed the SDCC. So here we go. And this will fail. Yeah, lots of errors. This SDAS 8051 cannot be found. So we'll need to quit. Yes. And then we'll need to Google for SDCC, which is the Small Device C Compiler. There we go. Small Device C Compiler. And we want to download that. We'll go to the source for download page. We'll go to, I'm on a Win64, so I'm going to download the Win64. Pick that one. Pick that one. Wait for the download to begin. This one's a fairly quick download, so I'm probably going to skip this one. And I think the install, if I remember correctly, is fairly quick, so we will not skip that either. It would be nice if they could package this up as part of the Eclipse install for the FX3, but there's probably redistribution rights, so I think this is open source. So, it must be scanning in here. I think it's open source, so they could fork it, but I don't know. There's probably reasons. So I don't know what this is. 0 seconds left. There we go. Open up. Yes. Next. I agree. Next. Full. Yes. Next. It'll go into program files. SDCC. That's fine. Extracting. 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 So obviously, as you can see, this will do pics, but we're not doing any pic stuff, so we'll ignore that for now. Lots of stuff going in. So one thing the SDCC does at the end of the installer is offer you the option to put the path to the executables into your system path. You must, well, you don't have to, you can set Eclipse up to use it, but you want to leave that ticked. And that is also why I quit Eclipse, because the path will be loaded by the process on startup. So this will now compile, he said. Go away, you. Go away. I clicked you. Miko, there we go. And okay, we'll start up with our project. Now I've used the bulk loop demo as the basis of all my projects for the FX2. So you could probably do something from scratch, but to be honest, that's probably a bit beyond what I want to look at. I just want to get something working and running, so we'll build it. And hopefully it will output a built. There we go. Finished building target desktop text. Let's just have a full look at that, so you can see it's now managed to build everything. So what we'll do is we will plug in our development board, and it's going to move out of the way of the webcam now, I believe. Oh god, yes, that's my diff USB port on my laptop. Wonderful. Oh, we don't have a driver for that one. Fantastic. So we'll go to FX2 SDK. And we'll get the FX2 SDK, which hopefully will come in the driver. We'll just switch the board off for the meantime. EZ-USB DevTools, that sounds about right. We don't want that. Okay. We'll download the file without the download manager. I thought the drivers came with the FX3 one, but obviously not. I am a fool. this. Now it defaults to C Cypress USB, which I do not like. I'm going to program files x86 Cypress, and then I'm going to do FX2. Let's try. No, we'll just go with typical. Do not install keel setup. I don't want keel, I don't need keel. That's the other ID, that's the default one, but you're limited to 4K, and by the time you've gone anywhere beyond basic USB stuff, you're already hitting the 4K limit, so it's pointless. This is what drove me to find this FX3 development kit. There was a post on the forum. So we just let this installer run through. Hopefully then the drivers will be installed. If not, I'll do a specific Google search for the FX2 Cypress driver. But we need this as well anyway. We needed the FX2 SDK anyway for a specific tool. But we'll get to that momentarily. I just want to... Okay, we'll Google it. FX2 LP driver. You would think you would think that they would have the drivers slightly easier to obtain than this, but there we go. Okay, so I'm going to extract that and put it into, I'll put it on the desktop so I remember to actually delete it later. And then we're going to go back into device manager, update driver software, browse, desktop, drivers, Windows 7, x64. Hooray! Hooray! Yes. Yes. Okay, so there we go. Look at that. There's our little device. We can now program the RAM with libraries. Now, where was our workspace? Libraries? No, it was in users. See, users, Chris, that's me. Workspace, test, release, test.hex. So, programming has succeeded. So you can now open all this up and look. We have. So I'm going to send some data. I'm going to send 00, 01, 02, 03. Send. Oops. I think it's that one. Oh, bollocks. Out endpoint, yes. Out to device. There we go. And now, if I go to the bulk endpoint in and transfer data in. Oops. Wrong one. Abort. Abort. Oh, dear. Okay, I thought that would work. Is this one I have to do it on? 000102. New. Or is it the control endpoint? I can never remember. I don't think it's the control. Okay, I think I've killed it, so I'm going to switch it off. Switch it back on again. I'll need to reprogram the device with the test.hex. And then we have a lovely program device. I should probably show you its default state before I'll show you the default state so you can make, to verify that it is actually programming with the. So there we go, the transfer out is completed. Bulk in transfer. Okay, I don't know why that's not working, but it should. I suppose I could use my other USB board, but okay, 01, 02, 03, 04. Transfer data out. Failed. Switch it off. Switch it back. See, these things are never straightforward. So this is the default configuration. I was sure it had more than that. Hang on, I'm going to try setting the jumper. I think this is it. So you can see there's a lot more endpoints. But if I program with our test.hex, oh, I don't know what I've done. I think I must have changed the device IDs. Anyway. Actually, let's have a look at the device IDs that the project is using. If I remember correctly, it's in here. (04B41004), I think. Render ID 04B40613. Okay, what I'm going to do is change this to 0613, which means it needs to be 1306. And then we're going to save it. And we're going to build it. This should then show up as the same device, which I think will work, he said. There we go. Theoretically, I should now be able to program the RAM. Don't know why it's installing the driver software. It should have the same driver software, unless I made a mistake. So power cycle it again. (8613), not 06. 86. Yes, I did make a mistake. I made a mistake because I'm an idiot. Reading is hard, folks. Reading is hard. we go, we're built. This time it'll work fine. There we go. And, look. I honestly don't know what that's about. So we managed to transfer our data out. We shall now transfer 4 bytes in. There we go, it worked. So we transferred our data out and we get the same data back in. That's what the bulk loop endpoint is. So that's one thing you need to be careful of, obviously, is the device descriptor, which I'm not going to really explain at this point. Plenty of documentation for it online, but essentially with the vendor ID, that's because it's stored little endian. You've got B404, and the actual ID as a word would be 04B4. You've also got the device ID, the product ID, 1386, which is actually 8613. So that's how we get the board programmed. So you see, we need 3 things. We need 3 pieces of software. We need the driver. So 4 pieces of software actually. We need the driver for the board. We need the FX3 SDK, which comes with the Eclipse EZ-USB suite. We need the small device C compiler, SDCC, and we also need the the FX2 SDK, because we need, I'll find the program that we need and explain what it's for, and I'll probably do a separate video, on that. We need hex to bix. What this does is, it lets you turn your hex file that you've just built, test.hex, into an IIC file, which I can then program to the EEPROM. As you can see, it needs an IIC file. We don't have an IIC file. I'll post a link on my blog, and probably a video as well, about how to generate the IIC file. But for now, we have a fully operational development environment that we can play around with. We can rewrite lots of the code. I'll post some more code, post some more videos about how to do various things that I know how to do. And hopefully then we'll be able to show you what I've done and why I've done it. Now here's something else as well. The default Eclipse environment throws up a lot of these squiggly lines and warnings and everything about problems with the code. So you get things like this, you've got things like this. Don't worry about them, the compiler will go straight through them and work okay. I have made changes to my local base files to eliminate these, which I'll probably do a blog on at some point. I just don't like them because it's untidy, and I don't like untidy. Not in my in my code I don't like untidy. In my general rest of my life I don't mind untidy. In fact, I quite enjoy it. So this is the end of the blog. So any questions, post them in the comments or post them to the blog, and I will try to answer your questions as best I can. So thank you very much for watching. If you've watched this far, oh you poor people, thank you.